welcome to Techbytes with TechNext. Here, we bring to you a brief roundup of everything exciting about the tech space across Africa and indeed the entire globe. From startup announcements to new inventions and the latest buzz boosts on the social space. We will be sharing industry important highlights and exploring the news within the news. We will also be bringing industry experts to share opinions about major news for the week. And most importantly, watch out for our exciting future for this week. We are sure it will be an exciting session you won't want to miss. Let us begin.
What's up, Lagos? Good morning. Good morning to everybody. This is Techbyte podcast with TechNext.ng. Today is Friday, May 6th, 2022. It's a raining Friday. And I have with me Dami. Dami is our foundational tech bro.
Hi, guys. Good morning.
Yes, good morning to you, Africa. Good morning to you, Nigeria. Good morning, Lagos. It has been a quite short and easy week for everybody. We had a long weekend from last week, Friday, to this Wednesday.
Was there a weekend?
It's a very long weekend now. I hope you enjoyed your salary.
I don't know, as I was mostly on the road throughout the Salah, whatever. So
Yeah, mine was busy too. I can't tell you that, but there was a lot of activities, GT Food Week, and a couple of programs.
Did you go?
No, I wasn't able to make it, and I had a lot at home, so I couldn't go out to eat again. So let's go to the business of today. First, we're going to be going around the world of tech in 10 minutes, where we're going to share an exciting news. Then we're going to be having a special interview today talking about Labor Week, the right of workers in a changing corporate system, and we'll be speaking with a very interesting figure in that space. Just stick with us and let us get to it. So first, a bit of news in 10 minutes. The first news we'll be looking at today is that telecom operators across Nigeria, under the aegis of the Licensed Telecoms Operators Association of Nigeria, (OUTIN), has proposed a 40% tariff increase on calls and SMSs in Nigeria. Dami, what do you think about that?
I knew it was coming, to be honest. I was just wondering how long it would take or what the price spike would be, because the cost of everything is rising. One might argue that, okay, maybe during 2020, the COVID-19 year, they made like a whole lot more than they would have on a normal year. But the cost of everything is rising. Then with this whole energy issue with Ukraine, Russia
and the rest,
and heavily, these guys need all this energy, diesel, gas, and all those things to keep their master not running. So I knew it was coming, but the increase is what I'm looking at. The increase is
eat us. Let's see.
No, the increase is like so from calls before, that used to be like 1 minute for 6.4 naira. It's about 8.95 naira now. Yeah. And for SMS, that used to be 4 naira flat. Now it's 5.61.
So to even send text to ask for 2K, you have
to have like 5
more.
points. Yeah. I mean, right. So it's actually high. But I mean, it's still a proposal, so I'm sure maybe the NCC will still look at it. There'll be lots of back and forth and all. The last one was in 2003.
So that's quite a time. That's like 19 years ago.
and the economy has, let me not talk, since then. So
as inflated
from top to bottom.
Okay, so let's quickly go to the next one. This is a follow-up on our conversation on Elon Musk last week. So Binance, the crypto platform, is proposing to invest $500 million in Elon Musk Twitter bid. So this is what is happening. Elon Musk has said he's going to buy Twitter for $44 billion. A couple of people are coming together to pull together that money, and Binance is one of them. What do you think this will mean for the purchase of Twitter, David?
Definitely. I mean, we all knew that crypto was going to be like a major mainstay on Twitter.
Yep.
Based on Elon Musk vibe.
Yeah.
I mean, but now with these Binance investments, we're looking at every crypto involvement on Twitter. Like,
so most likely payments, rewards, all
and
of
all those things. There'll be
Twitter.
options, and Binance already have their own traditional token, Binance Coin, so BNB. So most likely, as Elon is planning to probably add Dogecoin to the payment structure on
Yeah.
Twitter. We might be looking at BNB also being added
as well. That's cool. So Elon Musk is itching close to his commitment. He wants to buy for 44
4
billion.
billion.
As he speak, he has gotten like 27.25. He's getting 13 from bank loans, borrowing from banks using his Twitter shares as collateral. Then he's having a couple of other investors coming together to put in Lawrence J. Elsin $500 million, Sequoia and BY Capital 800 and 700 respectively. Altogether, these investors like Binance and the rest are putting together about $7 billion. So
No more.
Elon Musk has wins.
Well, now they see this money.
Elon Musk has wins.
I mean, it's Elon Musk. It's Twitter too. For many of these platforms, Twitter like their biggest proper. What would you call it now?
Communication channel.
Yeah, exactly, to their users and all. So it's very important at this point that they sort of like have interest in that platform too, since it's free for all now.
Yeah. I agree with you 100%. So the next story, Airbnb is recorded a 70% revenue growth.
Who uses okay?
Who is sleeping outside?
Exactly. I thought we all agreed to stay in our house.
So Airbnb had 102.1 million bookings in just the first quarter of 2020. Guys, you guys are sleeping in different places. And this is the first time that business will be going above 100 million bookings since it started 14 years ago.
Which is quite weird because if you look at it, it's not like we've had, except maybe the January season where people were still on vacation and stuff like that. It's not like we've had any major holiday period, summer or something. So people are sleeping outside.
I think more and more people are beginning to think about being digital nomads. So people are traveling around the world, working from different places. And Airbnb is just like the to-go place where you just check for a place.
Because it's easy. I mean, you can book from Nigeria to stay wherever you are when you get there. So
and a couple of people are building structures in Lagos, Abuja, just to list it on Airbnb.
Recently, one of the biggest, one of the most prominent investment platforms in Nigeria also like made their own Airbnb apartment recently.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool. So now finally to the bonus story. The Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, has indicated that 5G services will now be available in Nigeria from August 24.
So 5G is not causing COVID-19
again. Who said it causes COVID-19?
But that was what pushed it now. It was supposed to be launched last year, I think. And the Senate asked NCC to hold on to make findings if it causes COVID-19 and stuff. So
I know NCC stood their ground in 2020 that 5G does not cause COVID, and I know they made a couple of presentations about that. The proposed date for the implementation was supposed to be January 2022, but because of delays, so NCC had to auction the licenses. We had two companies actually leading that, MTN and Mafab Communications. Though we don't know who really owns Mafab, but NCC issued the letters of licenses to these two companies last week, and they've indicated specifically that they are targeting August. So
let's hope they get it done, and because definitely it would improve like a whole lot of things in the Nigerian space. I mean, tech especially, faster internet and wider reach too. So let's hope they get it done by August and they don't push it again, because this is almost election year. So keep pushing it.
The one that is even concerning me is our boys. By September, people will now be saying, does your phone have 5G? It will not be like a sort of level.
That's true. Since last year, most of the phones have been produced are 5G enabled. So,
but now I'm 25G attention. So what I said in Yoruba is, we'll now know those people that can
the big boys.
5G. 5G will now be the new level.
Okay, that's how it goes.
So that is the word of tech in like 10 minutes. We've just shared with you news across the ecosystem. Now let's get to the conversation of the day. Remember, I said we have a special guest on the show, and today we'll be speaking with Mr. Ayoade Ibrahim. He's the president of the National Union of Professional App-Based Workers. This is a union of people who use ride-hailing platforms, the apps, and operators of that platform. So our conversation today will be centered around the Labor Week. You know, Sunday, May 1st was World Labor Day across the globe. These days, workers celebrate the achievements, the historical struggles, and the gains made by workers and labor movement to this day. That is what Labor Day is about. So it's usually celebrated with marches, uniform, and political speeches across the world. But the gains are not truly here for all workers to these days. In many countries, especially in developing economies, workers are still struggling for basic titles such as commensurate minimum wage, a safe working environment, and so in some instances, the freedom to have a union. In Nigeria, for instance, this year's Labor Day was celebrated with thousands of Nigerian university students staying at home because hundreds of lecturers are on strike. So it is not really a happy celebration for many people. Yeah, so today we'll be focusing on one union that had been in the forefront of fighting for the rights of people who had been victims of the general problem with Nigerian situation, but also a group of people whose situation is a bit different because they are working in an ecosystem that is a bit nuanced. They are not really guided or regulated by the general rules. They are not having the same employment principle and so on. So Mr. Ayoade will be speaking with us about the challenges faced by ride-hailing app drivers in Nigeria and how we can be able to navigate this problem. So we are happy to have you on the call, Mr. Ayoade Ibrahim. How do you do today?
Thank you very much, Afolayan.
Yes.
I'm okay. I'm fine.
Okay. How was the spirit of the members of your union when you were celebrating the Labor Day on Sunday?
Yeah, it's normal. Struggle continue. In the neighbor arena, it's a struggle. So you have to be happy every day and continue to fight for your rights. It's just like a journey that you doesn't know where it's going to be end.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
All right, Mr. Ayoade. So there's been lots of questions about the identity of app-based drivers. The app guys, the platform owners, refer to you guys as partners, and drivers say, they are workers and they would like to enjoy the workers' benefit too. So would like you to please tell us what's the actual relationship between you, the ride-hailing guys, and you as the operators and drivers.
To be sincere, I will break into two places. There's a term and condition that we sign with all this app company, which is the platform. On that agreement, T&C, term and condition, written there as a partners. But when we now come to feed the real operations, the way they treat us is not reflect on the T&C they give to us. For example, issue of price mechanism. If you call somebody your partners, which at least every one of us really understand partnership, you don't need to impose price on me, and you don't need to tell me how much I need to take for a service I want to render as a partner. So these are the lacunas. And the second thing is discipline. If you look at the way they discipline us, it's one-way-sided. A customer, which we call a rider, can just make a report, and then the next thing you see is you being blocked, even without giving a fair hearing. So, and if you look at the other things too, the third one is issue of giving us job. You cannot reject it. For example, if I take a job from Ikeja, GRA, and I want to navigate through Osodi, maybe to the airport, and there's a problem on that bridge of Osodi. So I don't have any rights to say that I cannot, go with that trip. These are the things that make us to, some things together now tell the whole world that we're a worker under them. So there's no doubt about it. Physically, practically, system operationally, we are worker with all this platform.
Okay, so we are going to be picking the issues you raise one after the other. The first is on the question of pricing and profitability. I mean, in response to the agitation of your union members last year, Uber and Bolt in Nigeria increased prices by about 13%. And people are even always complaining that those platforms are usually on surge. And oftentimes we believe that the purpose is to make the drivers a bit satisfied with the profits that will come with these new prices. So the question I want to ask is, isn't that a good news for you, talking about profitability and pricing?
Yeah. By saying that, people may see it as a good news, but thank God that TechNec is the one that is interviewing me. You understand the technology operation system. You know, the more you look, the lesser you see. And if you look at the if you look at the scenario of increasing the price, you know, we have two harms of this increasing of the price. Even the surge, we have reason why the surge will come to play. For example, now there's a serious rain now. That is why you can see a surge, because all the rope with like blocks, and you have a few, you know, car around you. That is what prompt up the surge. So surge doesn't just come without a reason. So that's for that. The issue of increasing the price, let's look at it in the two harms as I mentioned. We are talking about the payer and the collectors. We are talking about the customer, which is rider, and we are talking about the app company that will collect the money, whether physically by cash, by driver, or through the bank transaction. Let me now break it down. When you look at the price mechanism the app company raise, it does not necessarily mean the income to a driver, and I will tell you why. The reason is that yes, it doesn't necessarily. So the reason is that it's like you give somebody with left hand and you use the right hand to collect it back. Now they increase the price, but they still increase their commission. For example, that commission too, there's a lot of abracadabra around it. If people do not understand our system, I know this program cannot give me opportunity to break it down again on that kind of price mechanism. But let me just go straight to the point.
So what I understand is, I think they take a percentage of your income. So if you make, for instance, 1,000 naira, and just say Taxify or Bolt or Uber is supposed to take 30% of 1,000, so they take 300, and the 700 is left with the driver. So I'm thinking, if they increase the price from 1,000 to 3,000, then your 700 becomes 2,001, and their 300 becomes 900. Isn't that what it is?
No, it's not what it is on practical. On practical, that's not what it sounds is. Let me tell you, in a real sense of it, which I can, have a proof physically. The Uber and Bolt does not collect the real percentage they write up. That is why they will be factored in. Yes, that's why they will be factored in when they want to break down analysis. That's why they will be factored in the 20 naira for the Lagos State Road Development, the 5% for the service charge. And they will not tell you that the driver is the one that pay for service charge. They will tell you that the rider pay for the service charge. It doesn't, impact the income of a driver. But the problem is this: no matter how much they collected around that trip, everything brought down on the income of the drivers. Because when you are talking about 5% service charge, where do you bring the service charge? Do you charge the rider separately? No, you say 1,000 naira ride is the ride, is 1,000 naira ride. Out of that 1,000 naira ride, you are now beginning to break it down that a rider pay this, rider pay that, but the rider pay everything. These are the things that are not clear concerned to the price mechanism and increment of the price. So when we are tackling them, when we are asked questions that, okay, why do you collect service charge? They will tell you the driver is not paid service charge, but indirectly driver paid. For example, now there's a time I request for myself, and the money they request, the money, we personally do it as a practical study. So driver, I requested one driver pick me up, and two of us will now agree that, okay, let's look at how this app company even remove money from the rider and how much they give to driver. They remove 3,000 naira from my ride, and they pay the driver 2,500. when I saw his dashboard, we are planning to just run it and see physically what is really going on. So where's the remaining 500 naira? And the 500 naira just go to the app company, but they never mention it to me that my ride is 3,000. They just tell me my ride is 2,500. But me as a customer, that I disguise as a customer, they give me the bill of 3,000 naira. These are the things that people may not understand, and that is why I said that we need people like you guys that really understand the text. You see, when we want to sanitize this industry, we need experts. We need people that can really dig deeper into how the system operates. So the price mechanism is not benefit to us.
Oh, so this is actually an interesting angle, and I promise that we are going to reach out to the platforms to have their representative have a conversation around this, so that we can be clear what exactly is how the system really works. So, but let me just ask a question for clarity's sake here. Does the platforms support the drivers in any way with forms of, say, maintenance, utility cost, or if your driver has been arrested by VIO or police and you have been charged a certain amount, do this platform come in to support you at any time?
No. That is why we, apply the law of partnership. You are on your own and you have your business with you and you deal with your business. That is not the issue of partnership coming from the platform. They don't assist. And we have a lot of experience for that. And they never come on board and assist.
Okay, so when you have incidents like, let's say, maintenance cost, or you have an issue with police and the rest, they tell you are partners and you have to deal with it by yourself. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So I know we've reached out to both, especially on a conversation of something in line with what I just asked you. And the response we got was that there was an arrangement between Uber and Move and both with Max to provide financing packages for drivers to be able to purchase cars, new cars that would really be cost effective to maintain and very good for you to use. Are your members leveraging that opportunity to get financing to buy cars, or do you guys have a problem with it?
To be sincere, it will be a great opportunity for driver, but it's not. Let me start from the Uber, the Move of the things that they provide a car for the drivers. The condition they put on it, no driver can meet up. That is why if you see the first set of the cars that Move give to the drivers, even on rent it, not HP, when the driver return it, when you ask driver to, deliver 50K per week, and there is no way the driver can, make up that. So, but when they now change it to HP, that driver and own your car, that is where many drivers, run away from it. You know why? We have three hands for that problem. Number one, the driver, the app company, and the road and the government. Now, you want to give a new car to somebody to drive to Ajangbadi, to drive to the first town, to drive to the Ikorodu, Lekki, Flood, and what have you. There are going to be a lot of problems along the line. That is why we see most driver that, enter into that agreement always return back the car and pay the rest money that they hold the Move. The reason is that if you look at even the amounts they give is to driver, many drivers, because of economics of this country, they cannot meet up. How can somebody stay on a car for 3 or 4 years and it doesn't make that money like that? So when you want to combine all this kind of opportunity, at least there must be a good route that make driver not have a lesser problem on the road. There must be an economist that support the driver to get that kind of loan for equity, and they can be able to pay. Because paying is not by the environment. The environment cannot contain the condition you give to the driver. So why are you imposing it? They should do the study. So what the environment needs to take is what I can pay. If my environment, my economy, my everything, my country cannot sustain me to get that kind of opportunity, why are you introduce it? These are the challenges we have with all this introduction of a car. That's number one. Number two, if they want to do this is very, very simple. If the app company want to do it, it's very simple. They should just give a grant to any of the driver on their platform that, look, we will not give you money, but through that move, let them go to any dealers, any type of car that is, recommend for the platform and is solid for them to take. Every driver will take the amount of cars that they can pay for, maybe 2 million, 2.5 million, and they will survive with that. But can not just bring a new car of 10 million naira, 12 million naira like that, and said, I know there's a real regulation in Lagos State concerned to the year of the cars that you can use for the commercial world, but that law cannot be implemented. Even the law of the economy of Lagos State is not sustainable to the extent that they will apply that law. That is the reason why Lagos State can never ever activate that law. These are the truths. We should just tell ourselves the truth. Let's know our problem so that we can provide the solution.
So you are saying, first, instead of forcing their model of cars on you, the app platforms can, through their partners, give you a kind of opportunity for drivers to go to car lots, choose the kind of car they want. The platform pays, then you can pay back the platforms on a monthly or quarterly or weekly arrangement. That is the first thing. Then the second will be that you shouldn't be forced to get the new cars. You should be able to pick whichever one your drivers can afford. Is that correct?
Yes, exactly. All of us understand our environment. We should operate according to the ecosystem of Nigeria.
Okay.
All right. So recently we saw a picture of one of your members who was attacked in Lagos. So please tell us, is this like something that happens often and your members are susceptible to?
Yes, it happens nearly every day. Even today, as I'm talking to you, there's a lot of problems. We are just trying to, impose some little one and put it on our platform so that the whole world can see it. And the problem is from the app companies. And we have been saying this. They are just looking about about their own business. They are not conscious enough to think about driver safety. And I will tell you why. We have been telling the app company that they should profile the riders. That if they profile the riders, that one will knock out the issue of fake riders, the rider you cannot trace, the rider that use fake identity and what have you.
Sorry, Mr. Ibrahim, what do you mean by profile riders? Is it to do like KYC, get their pictures or what?
Yes, exactly. And get their real identity, the real name, not by using blood, by using Caesar, by using all those names that are scary. If you check most of the names that we encounter with on our platform, it's scaring names. So if they do a proper profiling, they can get a correct name. And it's very simple, through names. And even through this SMS, NIM and what have you. It's very, but they don't want to do it because they believe Nigeria will not have. It's because of competition. A platform wants anybody to just bring a SIM. Before you know it, the car is beside you. And that is what, jeopardizes the security of the driver. And we have been hammering on this since all this were. But because of that certain competition, and they want a rider at goals, so it jeopardizes the effort of security that we put in place. And they will still even go to further tell them that, look, the rider will see everything about me, my picture, my name, everything about me. Let me have the picture of the riders too, so that they now tell us that the information, the close information of their, customer is not like that. That there's a law that's protect this, protect that. So these are things that's caused a lot of problem to the driver safety on that road.
All right. So so the first thing is for riders now. If I want to book for a ride and I'm booking for someone, would the picture and those things, will this suffice? And secondly, I understand that for the platforms, some of them, they actually have ratings for riders too. So does that sort of like help the drivers know which riders are troublesome or which riders are less troublesome?
And do the drivers go back to rate their riders after dropping them?
Exactly.
Say if you have a problem with somebody, do you have the opportunity to make comments about those riders?
Yes, we have opportunity to comment about rider, but our comment does not weight like riders. And the question you ask concerns somebody request for another person. There's no problem about that, because if I request for Apolayo now, I know Apolayo, so I can carry his body. I know he's not a bad person that I cannot trust. So when you want to request for anybody, the issue of trust coming, that the person you are requesting for, do you trust the person? If you trust the person, why not? You can request for the persons. We are still even telling them that, look, I'm not having problem carrying four people in my car. But when you are making requests, just put it there. Let her be plumb there that, okay, you have come to carry 4 people. So by the time I'm going there, I will prepare my mind that I'm going there to carry 4 people. Not one person request, and I see one person's, and when I get to the point of picking, I now see 4 people or 5 people. That one scare you away, it doesn't make you to even print, because you think you want to go and pick only one person. Getting there, you see a battalion of boys or girls. Those things need to be regulated, and it's very simple to put in our platform. If for example, now Ayoade is requesting for 3 people, I will just request as Ayoade, and there are going to be a column that I will just write 3 people is following me, so that when the driver sliding the request and they accept, you can be able to say, okay, Ayoade requested, but 3 people is following Ayoade. Very simple. But they won't do that. They won't do that. They won't do that. We need to get away with all this issue of not transparent enough about this business. We need to put everything in the table so that even the company can be safe too.
Yeah, I understand that part. So the next question will be both as they announced a couple of weeks ago that they have created an health insurance scheme, for drivers. Is this in any way helping with situations like this?
See, health insurance they provide is not, a law-regulated health insurance. The reason is that when you look at the health insurance, the boat always do offer on health insurance. How can you put me on a promo of carrying a 200 ride before I can benefit for a HMO for 1 month? So wow. If I did not use that 1 month, automatically the next month I cannot have access to it. And it's not the ordinary driver that we get that promo done. Is they call them verified drivers. Because after you have registered everything, they know you, they ask you again to go back and verify. And then you must drive for at least 6 months before you can have access to all this HMO. Okay, maybe if I'm in 3 months on your platform and I'm first sick, who want to carry the body? So they just go straight to the point that if it is 0.5% out of the work that driver does, register HMO for everybody. For a year, not everybody will seek at the same time. So we should just forget all this hide and seek, convincing the society about what they are doing to us. People like us that we understand the system, there are going to be a time. Let us debate it and put it on the table.
Okay, so just to clarify what you've said, for you to be able to benefit from the HMO, first you must have been a verified driver. You must have worked with both for 6 months. And you must be able to do 200 trips before you can benefit for the next month. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Oh wow.
Exactly.
Okay. Thanks for clarifying that. That is quite a steep regulation, but thanks for clarifying that. Now to the very, very important question. We see on Twitter every now and then people complaining. We've seen people complaining about drivers that connive with police to harass them, drivers that connive with police to extort, drivers that are unruly, that even beat up passengers, or drivers that are even robbed people. We had a story a few weeks ago about a lady that was robbed in Ikoyi. So does your union have any mechanism to checkmate its members, or is this just an open for all system?
No. We as a union, we have what we use to checkmate all those problems, because every of our driver have their code they used that the rider can be able to get in touch with us. But me are saying that this problem, you have said it from beginning of this program. When you are operating in a system that is not regulated by any law, by any policy, there's a bound to anything to happen on that particular environment. And that is what is happening to us in our industry. We have many fake drivers. I cannot deny the fact that we have many bad eggs as a driver too. And the problem is from the hire company, because they take driver every day, even without training them, without the training they will give to them just to know how to operate their platform, not the training of how to be a professional driver and better customer oriented on that road. So the only training they will give is to how to operate your how to operate their platform and how to put your car in a clean position. So which is not enough for us. So with that, you see, we have a lot of mix-up. So now that we as a union, when we regulate everything and all the drivers have to pass through union before they can go to the platform, it can be very easy to eliminate all those problems. Because if any driver causes any harm, it's the most important thing to just trace the driver through our code. And they want to synergy that kind of opportunity with our companies, so that our company can provide so the code like this, so that can be able to fix out the bad eggs. I won't deny it, we have many bad eggs as the drivers, but we are trying to work harder, because many of them are not members of the union. We are trying to organize the union. We are trying to bring people into the union, because we have many people in our environment. We have people they do it for part-time. We have people they do it for full-time. We have people they just cut and off, so that maybe they are coming from the work or weekend, all those stuff. We have to harmonize a lot of things before we can get out of that kind of a problem. But I will not rule out that there's nothing like that. So that because we have witnessed it, we have seen it. So but we work on it and see how we can adjust this in a way that will be a confident platform for everybody to sleep inside the car to where he's going.
So just out of curiosity, if I enter a maybe Bolt or Taxify and I have a problem with your driver, and Bolt is unable to resolve that for me, and I intend to go through the drivers union, how would I go about that?
It's very simple. You can come to our Twitter, which is at NOPAP, to just lodge a complaint either through the DM or through the open message, so that other people can learn. You can still meet us on our page, which is Facebook, National Union of Professional Based Transport Worker, and lodge complaint there. We pick it up and we work on it.
Okay, fantastic.
Seriously.
So is every rider or a part of the association?
Everybody has the opportunity to just complain there. You can even take it up to any length, any part of the country.
Okay,
awesome.
Great.
All right. So this fight or this battle between your union and the organizations have been on for quite some time now. At what point would you say the union is satisfied and you guys could say, okay, yes, let's relax a bit?
Yes. As I told you from the beginning, struggle continue. But let me just say this first. Me personally, I'm talking personally now, not as a president of a union. Personally, I want many hire companies to come into the folk, and I don't want a Uber and Bolt to leave our country. We want a healthy competition that everybody can, fly up. But the first thing remains that on doing that, we must relate with ourselves in a way that the industry is okay for us. So to me, presently now we are in court with Bolt and Uber. We are in the National Industrial Court, Ikoyi, and we are in the Court of Appeal, Igosere. The one at Court of Appeal, Igosere, is the one that started since 2008. 2008, that's it. Our colleagues, they took the Uber and Bolt to the court, industrial court. So we appeal on that one and Igosere, and we state another one from industrial court. You see, all this court is to just investigate our industry, because the court can be able to put some, some laws standards that. So we are not going there maybe to winch on Uber or Bolt. We are going to let them spell it out. What is our real names? Are we an independent contractor? Are we workers? Are we we just want to know where we belong to. Now We don't know where we belong to. That is why everybody will dodge his responsibility. But when the court say, look, these guys are XYZ, automatically nobody can deny that. Even the hard company, I'm very sure Uber will respect it, both will respect it. I know of that. So this is the reason why we say, okay, we have been fighting on the streets for many years since 2016 to this present time. Let's change our tactics. Let's approach the court, and then the court just come in with anyhow. Let's start from that. So if you can achieve that, we can say, okay, we are step one. But the struggle, as I rightly said, we're in court with Uber and Bolt, just to know where we belong to, whether we are partners or we are workers, whatever. So let us know, and with that structure will help us to know how to operate our system. Because the reason why people are dodging for the responsibility, because there's no policy or law that really pin the work we are doing to the position that we're supposed to have, meet ourselves. That is the latest. And if you can get that one done, that means that is step one, and the struggle continue. Because in this environment, it's just like we are just like Oliver Twist. We still continue to ask for more. So that
continue.
Yes, Victoria Sata. So that is the truth about human beings. So we ought to get better.
Okay. So just out of curiosity, actually, this wasn't part of our question, but just out of curiosity, is the government in any way trying to mediate between you and the other parties? Have you involved either the Lagos state government or the federal government at any point? And what was their response? Say Ministry of Labor or something?
Yes, we involve all of them from federal to state. Could connect 2019. I personally took the letter to the National Assembly, both House of Rep and Senate. Submit a letter at the office of Chairman Committee on Transport Land and Chairman Rep Transport Land. So, and the feedback they give us is to come and sponsor a biz. So how do we get a millions of naira to sponsor a biz? And it's just a devastation. All this work we are doing is just a selfless work. None of our members pay any dues for now, and we understand, because if you don't have money, how do you want to give us according to the law that every member should pay the dues? So we are running these shows with our blood and sweat. So they don't want to know that. That is one aspect. The second aspect is we approach Lagos state government. A lot of politics play out there. They use driver against driver. They use our company against drivers. We have been writing to them since 2018, when even the Lagos state cannot know the method to use to collect their right money from the Uber and Bolt by then. So we are the one that assist them how to get in touch with Uber and Bolt. In fact, personally, me, I'm the one that assist them to write a letter and do all those stuff. So when they penetrate into our system and they understand a little about it, they think there's a big money there. So that is why we see them flying up with their own app. So these are the things, because the government doesn't have business in business. What the government needs to do is a policy that will help and sustain the player on that environment. You can see the Lagrad. Lagrad is the worst of it, to be sincere, because the condition they bring, even the Uber and Bolt we are criticizing are more better than that. So these are the things that our government is supposed to reason along with the citizen. When we complain, they look our complaint and bring the experts, not a politician that is looking for 4 years tenure benefits from the office to come and do policy for somebody that will be there for life. So they should invite the experts and look at these issues and come up with what will benefit the citizen. With all this regulation that Lagos State does, it doesn't have any impact on the driver. Everything was brought down on IGR, which is internal revenue generation. That is why they increased the road development, they increased all the paper. Before, if you want to operate on Uber or Bolt, if you have 30,000 naira, you are good to go. But now, if you don't have up to 90,000 or 80,000, you are going nowhere, because they are introduced to many people. And this company have to accept it, because they told us, maybe you are the one that you expose yourself to your government. Now your government did this. You see, the government is supposed to be, the last hope of a citizen. But I learned a lot of lessons on this Lagos State regulation that we champion. So this is how our government operates with the carelessness of dealing with the problem of the citizen. So this is the problem, and this is the time all of us supposed to look our eyes and tell ourselves the truth. Whoever that doesn't love the citizen, who doesn't have any business on that seat. So this I know what I'm talking about because I'm inside out. Even before they use on drivers against us when we stood our point. So I stood my point on about 7 or 8 meetings I attended. When they want to go for final one with the governor, they sideline me. So even they remove a lot of things is playing on the ground concerned to that, and I don't have an apology to say this thing out for where I say it, and it's for the betterment of all of us, because many of us are dry in that street. Many sleep in their cars. Many cannot go home for a week, and at the end of the day, you don't have even 1 naira to give to his family. Is that the way to continue? Yes, all this, and most of them are pathetic. Yes, most of them are graduates. They have the masters, they have everything, and they are looking for good job. The good job is not there, and the one that we create by ourselves. What we need for government to put out the policy that we regulate and give the fair play to everybody. This is where we are.
Thank you so much, Mr.
Continue to push.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ayoade Ibrahim, for giving us your time and your words of experience today. We sincerely appreciate it. We've learned a lot, and we promise that we're going to reach out to all the parties to have a say on this conversation in this month of May, which is Labour Month, so that somehow we can be able to have a way forward on this conversation. We hope that if we call you next time to maybe respond to some of the feedback we've gotten from both the ride-hailing platforms, Move, government, and the rest, you'll be willing to oblige us your time to give a response to them. Hope that is fine.
Yes. Techless is our people that they try to find a solution for both parties, and we really appreciate.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Especially Polanyo and every team that I've get in touch with. Yeah, thank you very much. I really appreciate you guys for the good work you are doing. Many of us are youth, so this is our time. We need to make a change. Yeah, and it's very important.
Thank you, Mr. Ayoade. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So thank you guys for joining our podcast today. Techbytes by TechNext. Dami. We've heard a lot about this, and it's quite an emotional conversation. But here we are. The next thing is to do the next thing. We'll be here same time next week to have conversations, to share expert ideas, and we'll be sure to bring in somebody to share some light on some of the things that we've discussed. Thanks indeed, everyone. You can follow us on all social media platforms. Dami, are you on social media?
Yeah. I'm down07.
Okay, I'm also at Aphorisms. Follow TechNext on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And we'll be sharing clips from these conversations with you. So we see you same time next week. Have a great weekend ahead.
Enjoy.